I am now reading Operation Sisterhood. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce her name because I'm afraid of mispronouncing her name and I don't want to mess it up. This is actually, I think it goes into a series. And I came across this author because she randomly reached out to me because she saw what I was doing with the All Black Author Book Drive and sent at least 3 boxes of books. I want to say 3 boxes. One was an easy reader, and 2 or 3 of them were 3 of her chapter books. What I like about it is, let me start with the biggest lesson that I'm getting from this book. Now, granted, I'm not familiar with that. Joshua probably is a little bit more familiar with this than I am because his dad, prior to this wife he has now, he did get married and the woman had children. But they were little. So I don't think it took that much to blend them all together. Nevertheless, I'm learning through this storyline, and I want to be encouragement to other people. You have to be very careful and cognizant and aware of what your child that is coming with you into a blended situation. And honestly, they didn't call their situation blended. So you had Bo, who that's short for a Nigerian name. It was always Bo and her mom. Bo knew her mom was dating Bill, but she didn't know how serious it was. And she knew it was getting serious. Or maybe she didn't know it was getting serious because she had met Bill's daughter Sunday. So when they get engaged and get married, like within the same breath, it throws Bo into a tailspin because I go from it's just me and you. And now I got to share the house with my new bonus sister, my new dad, their sister-in-law and brother-in-law, their new family, and I have cousins. I'm sharing a space with them and they have 50 million animals. What in the heck? That's a lot. And some people would welcome that because some people do not enjoy being an only child. Like some of y'all pay attention, my teachers and my administrators, some of your most talkative kids in the classroom are only children. Not always, but sometimes. And one child I'll never forget. And I remember his mama moved him out my classroom because she was tired of me calling because he just talked. My thing is, I don't mind you talking, but get your work done. He talked all the freaking time and didn't do any work. And I was the only teacher calling and complaining when other teachers were complaining, but they weren't calling. So he gets moved out of my classroom, but I never forget before he got moved out, he admitted, because when I go home, I have nobody to talk to, so I got to get it all out here. I digress. So some of your most talkative children are only children. Bo likes her space. Bo likes her me time. Bo likes her mommy and me time. So she notices quickly, not only am I sharing a space with 6 other people, I'm sharing a room with someone and she's disorganized. Our mommy and me times are becoming very limited. You're also forcing me into things that I'm not used to or I've never been a part of. And it's like, I have to go. It's like, and honestly, through the whole course of the book, I don't think Bo's mom was cognizant of emotionally what her daughter, because Bo came off as I'm good. I'm enjoying myself when really Bo was freaking out. But her thing is she didn't want to come off as not liking it because that will come off being disrespectful. That will come off as being rude and I'm not thankful. When the reality is she was freaking out. And we as parents have to be cognizant of, are our children open enough to authentically tell us how they feel? And are we providing a space? Because at one point, Bo's mom she calls her mom. She was giving her a space to talk. That's how they would talk when they would bake together. The journal writing and whatnot. But because she's now trying to make things work, it does not help that financially the whole household is going through some growing pains now. And not because you're adding more people to the equation. They were already struggling financially, which I think that's why, and I might be wrong, Bo's mom and Bill felt a need to go ahead and get married to help Bill financially because he has a bookstore that right now it is looking dim. So it looked very dim. So again, that's the biggest lesson that I learned. Now, some of the quirky, beautiful, very funny, interesting things that I love about these stories is these girls are homeschooled. Bo has never been homeschooled. So she goes into going to full-time school. So now she's homeschooled. They have projects. They have to learn how to ride the subway. They very, very rarely watch TV. You have the twins. One is an engineer mindset. One is into fashion design. But I want to say that might be the same person. I'm still figuring them apart. nevertheless, the things they are into and the adventures they get into, you have one, she is save every animal that we can. Save every animal, because she works in an animal shelter. Sunday is just a track of all trades, but she's very disorganized. And she comes up with the ideas, but she has to use Bo to help take those ideas and make them more organized and make sure there's a flow, make sure that things are in order and that we're thinking about all angles and whatnot. Sunday is all enthused. I have this new sister. I have this new mom. I'm loving this. And she sometimes gets too overzealous. It can be a bit much. When they find out that Bo plays the drums and everybody plays an instrument or does something with music, eventually they decide to form a band. Then they also have to come up with what I call project-based. This is what they do, is what we should be doing in our classroom, project-based learning. And the projects they come up with, and finally one project they decided to come up with, because when Bill, it's like they got married and engaged in like a day. Or engaged and married in a day. And they did not have a wedding. And the girls felt some type of way, like, this is something we need to celebrate. So they proposed a huge project, a huge thing to do that they turning into project-based learning. So they have to organize, plan, learn some things along the way, something that's real practical. I also love how it was something they wanted to do. And instead of taking the money, like having their parents just pay for it, they figured out the math. Okay, so for the next 2 weeks or the next 3 weeks, over our allowance, you will take 15% or 20% out of our allowance in order for you to pay for this thing that we wanted to do. How many of us do that? Like, the fact that how they were able to buckle down money management. These girls are 11. Because some of us, we have a bad habit where we give our kids allowance, but whatever they want, we buy it. How do they learn how to manage their money and learn? Like, I had some nieces who, they're older now, they're like grown women, but I'll never forget when we would go out and hang out and go shopping. I noticed real quick, because I remember my mom saying that, and my aunts, when you offer to buy them something to eat, oh yeah, we want such and such, but when you say y'all gonna have to pay for it, oh, we'll wait till we get to the house, because they knew Granny Dale always had something to eat at the house, so why spend my money? And I noticed Joshua was the same way. Sure, but if I said you're gonna have to pay for it, oh, I'll just wait. Okay, he had to be really hungry to spend his own money. So it is the cutest book I have read. And I won't say ever, because what I love about my reading journey is very rare I come across when I'm just like, what are they doing? This is not it. Every book I'm learning in that middle grade, and they're really children, middle grade, because they're 5th going into 6th grade. That's the age range. But just, this is something I think all parents and children who know that your family is about to be blended, or your family is already blended, and you're noticing some differences with your child, and you're not quite know how to read. I think everyone who has a blended family needs to read this book, because you will see some things that you didn't even realize you were doing as an adult or even as a child.